I'd like to call the Fiscal Court meeting of January 11th to order. If everybody would please stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody on such a lovely night. I appreciate the turnout and the interest shown. So we'll get right to business here, and as all the magistrates look over the meeting minutes of the last two meetings, we've got two of them. We have the regular and the special. Any comments, additions, corrections?
Motion approved minutes.
Second. Motion approved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. You've got also in front of you a list of the monthly bills. Everybody had a chance to look over the bills. Any discrepancies, anything you want to discuss?
I have a few additional that came in this afternoon. If you look on here, I had, yes, blue page.
Blue.
And the only additional we have that haven't come in yet that we're waiting on.
Yes. I'm waiting on high tech, right, express and fill in. If I can get approval to pay those, so they can come in.
Fuel maintenance.
Motion to pay bills.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Pay the bills. The treasury report, please.
Okay, I'll be reporting for the month of December. And we'll begin with the general fund receipts for $52,903.23. Disbursements for $173,915.37, leaving a balance in general, including CDs, $413,540.84. The road fund receipts for $1,254.80. Disbursements for $54,140.93, leaving a balance in road, including CDs, of $797,809.06 for the road. In the jail fund, we had receipts of $45,917.51, which included a transfer. Disbursements were $43,457.71, leaving a balance in jail of $24,192.10. For LGEA, we had receipts of $6.08. Disbursements, $19,970.91, leaving a balance in LGEA of $46,850.22. Our state grant is just passed through. We had receipts of $19,620, and we had a disbursement of the same for Carrollton Utilities of $19,620, which leaves a balance of $37.21 for this pass-through money. In our ambulance fund, we had receipts totaling $76,121.06. Disbursements, $84,221.24, leaving a balance in ambulance of $22,725.43. In our economic development fund, we had interest of $143.13. No disbursements, leaving a balance in economic development of $224,852.55. Our 911 receipts were $20,706.46, which includes a transfer. Disbursements, $19,995.09, leaving a balance in 911 of $5,430.26. In our wireless, we had interest of $2.51. We had a disbursement of $20,000, which was a transfer to 911. a balance in tourism of $32,764.31. And our last fund is court facilities. We have interest of $78.35, no disbursements, leaving a balance in court facilities of $123,070.62. And that's for December.
Haven't heard the
Motion
report.
to accept the treasurer's
Motion, motion second, all in favor?
report. Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
The next item I have are budget transfers for December, and those were just various line items within, let's see, we had a transfer for jail and 911, LGEA, and general fund, totaling $22,675 for December.
Motion approved budget transfers.
Motion. Second. Second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried.
And the next item, interfund cash transfers, which I had two. I had the $20,000 from the wireless that went to 911, and I had $40,000 transferred from the general to the jail. Totaling $120,000 for the two transfers.
Motion to accept transfer.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried.
And the next item I have is, we had a budget amendment, we had a first reading last meeting, which was Amendment 1, Ordinance 120910. And DLG wants to wait till we have the actual check from the sheriff and the clerk before processing that. So they took those two lines out. So that reduced that budget amendment down to $63,926.91, and we'll just carry that for February budget amendment next. So that's the only change to that amendment number 1.
What's your pleasure on the amendment?
So moved.
Second.
Second, move to second. Do it.
The last item I have is the quarterly financial statement, which is in balance and ready to upload to DLG.
Everybody, everybody get a copy of it.
Yep.
You all looked over it, satisfied with it? Motion.
Make it.
Second.
Motion approved. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. It's too easy. It's too easy. Okay, I guess the old business, we're still waiting on the sheriff's settlement. Josh, you have anything on the sheriff's final settlement?
No, not yet. Brenda should have that finished.
You-
She did call today because of the weather, that's why she
Okay.
didn't have it ready, so
Okay,
she said
that's
she
fine.
just covered in February.
That's fine. Okay. We go to new business. Under new business, we have the first item is the county is in the process of contracting and leasing out the animal shelter and its services. We have a contract here with FOGS Corporation. They have agreed to take over the operations, the day-to-day operations, all the responsibilities that come with the animal shelter. We will act as a landlord per se with the building. Excuse me. We will do the major maintenance, furnace, hot water heater, just like any landlord would do. I have a copy up here. They will have their own employees. They will furnish their own fuel for their vehicles. They furnish their own phone, furnish their own office equipment, furnish their own food for the animals. I've got a copy of the contract here. I think the ladies have read it. Mr. Wright, you read it? Feel that it's appropriate?
I drafted
I knew it was going to the magistrates have read it. Everybody's satisfied, so
I think it looks good.
entertain a motion to enter into a contract. This is for 1 year.
I'll make it.
We got one.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Looks like the ayes have it. Tomorrow morning, you all,
What's the bottom line on that contract?
ladies,
What's the bottom line on that?
we are now, paying out. Yeah, you want a copy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a quick question. I met with these ladies at 127 a little bit ago, and this is more of a question for Spike. The narcotics that are in there, did the county have a DEA number to control that type of stuff? If so, we need to contact them who's to dispose of that narcotic. If it's me to go out and take possession of it, I will, because they have struck interest in me that they don't want it in their building with nobody on staff, which I don't think they can. So is that something that, Spike, that I should do, is go out and take possession of that narcotic, or is it like a peanut butter?
Until we know legally.
And I'll log it in our evidence locker, and then that way, until we know proper disposal, or maybe check into maybe transferring it, signing it over to Boone County, or another animal shelter that utilizes that type of narcotic if we're allowed. So, that's my question.
That'd be fine.
Take possession.
I think we've actually got a vet that, in case, maybe they can use it if we've got a vet that does do,
I mean, you could probably turn it back into a
yeah.
Carrollton Animal Clinic or something, or,
That'll
I
be
mean,
fine.
I don't know. It was ordered through the mail or whatever,
We
but
purchased through the Delmarva Labs, is who we purchased the Pentasol powder.
But in order for me to get rid of it, I have to have a destruction order signed by a judge.
Yeah.
So that's where I have to, I just need to know, and it's to be remain refrigerated, right? It's not, okay, all right, then I'll take possession of it, and then however, I'll get with Spike.
I'll stop by in the morning. I'll give you a signed order to pick the drug up and keep it in your possession till we find the proper.
Next question is, key wise, Bobby, do we, if we don't have a key to the locker, of course, I guess it follows these ladies, do I have permission to remove the lock? Any way means possible.
That's fine.
Okay.
Terry.
She's locked the room that the youth install is in. I think Bobby has had a lock to the lock box on the youth assault box, the safety box, right?
No.
No, you don't? Okay. So no one's got a key to either the room or the box, other than Sherry.
This stuff is supposed to be turned in. I'll make a phone call, courtesy call in the morning to see if it is going to be, and then whatever we have to do after that is done.
I'll be in touch with you tomorrow.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Second item on new business is, not a lot of this is going to require, most of this is going to be discussion. There's not a lot to do. We have been in the process of setting up a fiscal court website. A lot of you can go. We are still, that is still in the works. It will be GallatinFiscalCourt.com. We will have our monthly postings, all our financial transactions, checks written, orders, minutes, so anybody can sit at the house and see exactly what we've done and shed a little more transparency on exactly how the fiscal court operates. Hoping that this will be up, part of the page is up now. We've got the site, but I'm hoping this will be in complete, full operation probably in 30 days. So keep that in mind, GallatinFiscalCourt.com.
Generally, picture won't be on their way.
Put the link way.
Right beside yours.
But basically, what will be on there is the stuff that we're doing tonight. Our bills, our minutes. So to shed a little light on what actually goes on in the court meeting. Another thing I wanted to touch base with you all, we have confirmed a lot of our appointments, our bond requirements are done. There may be a few stragglers. If there are, I will tie those up. But I'm still checking on some of the boards. There were terms that have expired that I'm having a little trouble locating exactly when or what, but I will make the necessary adjustments and changes on those when I do acquire those. Another thing that I would like for you all to think about, I think that we need to establish a good code of ethics. That has to be done in an ordinance form. And this is, I'm throwing this out to the magistrates to give them something to think about in the next month. Yeah, we've got one. I think it needs to be updated, maybe some changes, but everybody look at it and we'll do a comparison on it and, either accept the new one or reject it. At that time, we will send a copy to the cities. If they agree to go by the same code, they will become part of it. They will have a representative on the ethics board. That's
I guess we can swing by and get a copy of the current one.
absolutely.
You can send one to the phone.
Another thing that I wanted to touch base on, you tell me the direction to go, is reopening and looking at the county's drug testing policies as far as employees, new hires, what do we tolerate, what do we require. Again, this is open for discussion. This is not going to be anything we're going to do tonight, probably not the next meeting either. But these are things that I want to throw out to you all to be thinking about and looking at. And as a group, we'll get some ideas and see what works for us.
Do we have personnel policy?
We've got personnel policy that touches very lightly on that.
We were, December or November, I was reading, I think we have the administrative code. We need to review that, all of it, not just, okay.
Another thing, we have a calendar of the 2011 holidays. Did you all look at it? It's the same as it was this year. There's 11 days. It looked okay to me. I mean, I couldn't see anything. So I guess we probably should. I'll entertain for a motion to accept those as the holidays and we'll go ahead and post them and send them to all the supervisors and the holidays will be on.
So moved.
Second. Got a motion second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried. Another item that we've got here that we're working on, and I'm working on with Lisa, as you all well know, that in our road assessment process with Creekside, Marsh Place, Scenic View, they pay their own, Sugar Bay, sometimes there are fluctuations in the payments and the monies received. Sometimes it's over. We are going to set up a special account and get this totaled up to whatever it is and take these monies and apply it directly to the assessment party, whether it be Marsh Place or whatever. So that will be divided up.
Each individual road.
Each individual road will get that. So that's something we will require a little bit of work, but we're going to take care of that.
Is that changed, Judge? That didn't happen before?
Please.
That didn't happen before? There was extra money?
Actually, it was, a lot of times it was pretty close. Nobody was ever really sure, I think, Kelly, what to do with it. But as we all know, whatever it is, whether it's $5 or 5 cents, it needs to be applied to that. So that's, we're gonna back up and look at that. Another thing, in probably the February meeting, the transportation department is coming down to, they always got their list of roads that they think need to work, and while you guys are out and about, if you've got any ideas, make note of it. When they get here, if we need to change something or do something a little different, we can inform them of that. The other thing that we have is Mr. Wright has got a proclamation for school board members, and I thought it was only appropriate that he read it.
It is a proclamation honoring the members of the Gallatin County Board of Education during the 2011 observance of School Board Member Recognition Month, to all whom present shall come. Whereas one of the qualities that instill pride in and respect for the community is the reputation of the local public school system. And whereas the members, David Morris, Becky Burkett, Anita McFarland, Sonia Giles, and Joni Rogers, contribute greatly to the reputation of our district by virtue of their service. And whereas these decision makers are responsible for maintaining strong, effective budgetary oversight, high standards for employment, and a safe, well-managed school facility. Whereas school board members have demonstrated an unwavering commitment to the children of this community. Whereas January 2011 marks Kentucky observation of the contributions by these outstanding leaders and their colleagues across the Commonwealth. Therefore, I, Kim McFarland, Gallatin County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of January 2011 throughout this community as School Board Member Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to honor Dave Morris, Becky Burgett, Anita McFarland, Sonia Giles, and Joni Rogers for their service.
Entertain a motion, we accept this proclamation to the county. Second. Moved and second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried. Another thing that I think has been an issue that has been brought to my attention was the boat dock purchase. I think at one time, and you'll brief me on this a little bit because a lot of this went on before I could come in this year. At one time, we were offered a pretty good deal on a boat dock. For whatever reason, we did not purchase it, or the funding out of a particular fund maybe was not there. I guess what I'm looking for you is, do you want to still pursue this? Do you want me to look for monies in funds that there may be a little bit of extra that we have to transfer or whatever to still look into purchasing this?
I think we should.
Is the amount still the same?
Just as far as I
Gone
know.
down $500.
Say it went down?
We made a motion to buy it for $5,000 and take it out of the tourism fund. And then what happened, I have no idea. But since then, word's got back to me that the man has dropped $500 and said he would take $4,500.
We had
Did you?
same story.
So that was what it was.
Right there in the general fund, and everything, that's why we want to take it out of tourism.
Yeah, I understand. Let me look through the budget. Let's see if
I'd like to make a motion to pursue it if we can.
okay.
Second.
All in favor?
One question.
Okay.
In the original bid, we said we was gonna turn it over to the city of Warsaw, so we wouldn't own it.
I think we did talk about that.
Okay, I mean,
That was that wanted, I don't know.
that's up to you.
Yeah, you talked with.
Jeff, did we say we would turn it over, ownership to the city of Warsaw?
That's what we'd agreed on originally, that's to my understanding, yes.
But it still is a public,
That's
Yeah.
correct.
okay,
What
facility.
it is, Judge, the city took over the boat ramp.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of improvements and a lot of volunteer work taking place down there
approval, I'll look the budget, I'll squeeze and try to find any dime I can. I'll let you know exactly where it comes from. The next meeting, I'll, have some information for you on that. Is that okay? Yeah. That good with everybody? Okay. Another item that we have, Mrs. Warnick has resigned off of the library board, very fine lady, we all know. And it's been proposed to me that Holly Haichu and Mary Jane Day can be alternate. And that's fine with me. I'm looking for a motion to go ahead for that, with that.
Second.
Moved and second, all in favor? So carried. I'll notify the library board. The other thing that we have is a EMS proposed rate schedule adjustment. I may need a little explainer on this. I think I've got it interpreted right, but Barry, if you might just touch.
Yeah, I'll be glad to, Judge. I spoke briefly with Lisa earlier today, Judge, in reference to the proposal of a 5% increase for this year's bills for EMS. The last time we had an increase, Judge, was 2008. And as everyone is aware, fuel costs obviously have escalated. And at our pace right now, last year we did 2,521 runs. Right now we're on pace to do 2,900 in 2011, which is an additional 400 runs. We also, I believe at that time, we addressed that the last about adding on actually a fuel surcharge. And I would also like to continue that also, Judge, on the cost itself. It was actually a $30, is that correct? It was $30 additional monies on the run to help offset the cost of the fuel. Just to give you some ideas on the cost of the fuel, it costs us $30 every time we go to Florence. So if you multiply that times 2,500, that's a lot of money. I believe we budgeted, so we budgeted 70,000.
Actually dropped it, we were up at 50.
We dropped from 70 back to 50.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this year we might be back at the 70 if we make an additional 400 runs. That's an additional $12,000.
Harold, I hear diesel's going up.
Yeah. And how does this put us in comparison with other ambulance services?
We are the cheapest provider in our particular surrounding areas. This is Region 6. We are the cheapest of all the counties in our district. That includes Harrison, Bracken, Pendleton, Campbell, Kenton, Boone, Carroll, Owen, Gallatin, Scott, I believe that's it, and Grant. I don't know if I said that. Those counties, we are the cheapest. Our mileage rate and our base fee and our ALS fee is cheaper than anyone else's.
What about, does this put us, still keep us in line with Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance as far as?
Medicare, Medicaid, Judge, those folks that have Medicare A and B, there is, just to give you an example, we do approximately 30 to 35 dialysis transport runs each week. The bill for that is, let's say, X number of dollars, and what we receive on that is about, we receive about 400. So we receive, and we soft bill. We accept that obviously in lieu of payment because of those folks don't have the ability to pay. So that's the nice thing about our service. Anybody that's a citizen or a resident in the county, you know, we try to do that, make that provision for them. If they're indigent or if they have no means of support, or if they have Medicare A, we accept that in lieu of payment. But that does help us defray our cost, offset our cost.
It helps us and lets us maximize what the insurance will pay.
That is correct.
Okay. In other words, the policy will stay the same to the citizens
That is correct.
of the county where, well, I guess, I know what it used to be, I guess it's still the same, but,
If they can't pay, they don't.
yeah, okay. I just wanted to.
What we ask them to do, Judge, is to write up something that explains as to why they are unable to do that.
Right.
And we bring it before the body of the court, and at that particular time is acted upon.
What we've been doing since the turmoil in Owen County was, the judge's office would receive them. Periodically, I get them, if there's, they want a third party to look at it, we look at it and make a written recommendation on it. More often than not, you know, you can't get blood from attorneys
Right.
under the approach, but we've been given that review just to keep basically the auditors and everybody happy.
And with Medicare, you have stipulations that, you know, they consider that you have a co-pay with Medicare, and
Correct.
they do want them to at least make an attempt to pay something, even if it's $5 or $3. They have to make an attempt. We cannot write off Medicare collections because they can come back to us for that, so they have to at least make an attempt,
Whatever it is.
whatever they can do.
Gentlemen, what's your pleasure on this?
I just think you need to, we're looking for a policy.
Just,
They give you a 5%, and you can go whatever percent you want. You don't have to take the 5%.
5% is the proposed rate.
That's what SDR billing company proposes, to stay in line with the cost and what Medicare will allow. That's
Correct.
I'll make a motion that we go with the proposed rate.
5%. There's a second. All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you, Judge.
Motion carried. Before the next item. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we do. I do have to take a motion for that.
I move we go into closed session.
I've got a motion that we go into closed session. Personnel.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
No? Anybody? No. So carried. We're gonna go into closed session if y'all will excuse us. Ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do here, there was an issue every 4 years, the county just has to reestablish the emergency management person. And some of the verbiage and the different things, which is a standardized form, we just want to hash out and take care of. Barry Alexander's always been our local director, and I see no reason to change it. I entertain a motion from the board.
Second. I'll make a motion. Second.
Got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. Say the fire department, Greg, you got.
I do have an invoice, Judge, from Doug S. Darley. It was for, we had to, there's a hydrant on 1992, Stills Bottom Road, up at the station, you know, where the ground tank is. And we were up there, and we were filling the truck, and it blew the intake valve and clapper valve completely out. And we had the line on top of the truck, and when the water came out the line, it knocked the bark off the tree about 150 feet away. There's several pounds of pressure. There's a pump there, we found that out. And when you open the gate, the pump comes on at about 165 pounds pressure, so we had to replace that. And we did the work, we did the, you know, the repair on it. And and the gate valve. And the total cost on that, Judge, was $2638, and that's from WSR, $2638 for valve kit and repair. On engine 811, that's county engine.
Anything else on it?
That's it.
Everybody?
Thank you.
Just, if you think about it, Barry, now just, give me a call, something.
Sure.
That way, that nobody was real sure what this was, and just kind of clarify the whole story and why it happened, but give me a call.
Yes, sir.
Get PO or approval or something. That wasn't on the bills too, I guess I entertain a motion, go ahead and pay it. You got a motion, second? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried. I got one quick little thing I want you all to think about, and all the stuff that we've got on our plate. Our planning and zoning people, there's a good bunch of people, and as you know, Mr. Baker and Steve Huddleston has kind of taken on the tour of co-administrators of that, among a lot of other duties that they don't even realize yet, because I'm going to believe them for everything I can get out of them. But ever since we helped put this together, they've received $50 if they showed up, whatever, if they didn't, but it's not much. I don't want to raise for them, but what I would like for them to be guaranteed is that they get $50 a month. Because most of the time, even if there's not a lot on the agenda, they basically can't plan anything for that day because there may or may not be. So I would like for you, if you want to go ahead, I think when we budget, I looked at the budget, it's actually budgeted as if everybody was there for every meeting. If you want to wait and think about this a little bit, I can appreciate that. If you,
That's only if they come.
that was, no, this will be, it used to be if they come. Well, I wasn't here, will it be guaranteed? Well, no, but there will be some stipulation that you miss 3 consecutive meetings and get replaced, just like we can.
So it's $50 a month if the meeting's canceled because there's no agenda. You want to receive 50 a month.
They'll receive a $50.
I'll make the motion to pay $50.
Yeah.
And if they miss 3,
And if they miss 3, I think it's set up, basically every board in the county has got a clause in there, if you miss so many meetings that you get put off of it. And I'll look at it. But these guys, you know, they haven't,
They do their work.
they do their work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stuff that actually needs to be done with planning and zoning, get some of the maps updated. Comprehensive plan's got to be updated. We've got some good things that's going to be going on in the future, so they're going to earn their $50. But I would just like for them to be guaranteed that they get that $50 a month regardless.
you got a really good group of people.
We got a diversified group of people. Anybody that's been down there, I've been on both sides with them. I helped them set up planning and zoning, and I've also went down there to get planning and zoning changes, and they are very diverse, and we all know that that's what you need for something to function properly, with a diverse group of people.
What I meant by good in addition to all that is that they attend. You don't have anybody.
Yeah, right. Nobody knows. But anyway, if you want to go ahead and put that in motion and get it over with, we'll do it.
I'll make the motion.
Did you get a second? All in favor? Any opposed? So done. Anybody got anything else? Anybody? Any questions? Anywhere? Matt, say anything?
Kind of got a question maybe for Barry.
Okay.
I've had people call and ask about if there's any possibility of any hydrants out in my area, or is that a water line issue, or is that not possible?
That's a good question, Jeff. We have been looking at trying to
This
add.
goes back on the insurance
Correct,
issues.
trying to add hydrants on all lines that were suitable. We've been trying to do 5 or 6 a year. Right now, we've got about 16 hydrants throughout the county. And the question there is the line size being suitable to accommodate a hydrant. They would like for them to be on at least a 6-inch line. There are several lines in the city of Warsaw, Eric will tell you this, that do have we have some 4-inch lines that do have hydrants on them. In years past, and I mean years past, when a hydrant was used, a lot of times the departments didn't have anything other than the hard hose. And when those trucks were used, it would actually try to pull more water into, because it was creating drafts, than the trucks would actually provide, the hydrant itself would provide for the apparatus. But now all of us on a hydrant line are using soft hose. So what happens now is the hose just collapses and there's no damage.
Your hose collapses.
Our hose
instead of the
collapses
water
instead of the line, correct. So I would not be opposed to that. I suppose that would be an issue, Judge, that would have to be addressed to the water board and Mr. Court.
Oh, that's on Carroll County, isn't it?
I'm out of the area, yes, we're gentle.
What size line do you think that is?
I have no clue. Got it.
What roads are you talking about? What roads in particular?
Going up, the new road there.
1039?
Yeah, well, no, back closer to a little subdivision there off Walnut Valley.
Okay, Chapel Hill.
Yes,
That's Chapel Hill. That's Riverview.
That's, there's quite a few houses in that
There
area.
is.
It would take, maybe 1 or 2 hydrants.
There is a hydrant over on Furnace,
That's correct.
and there's an 8-inch line that runs across up to Drury Chapel in Knox Lillard. There would probably, I think, well, I suppose we would have to address Kent District.
Jim Smith's the guy, that's for sure.
But we could get, there's no reason why there couldn't be one put in there, Jeff.
Okay.
Because there's an 8-inch line that supplies that, and the tower is over on Rocky Branch, that's, provides that tower.
Okay.
So I think that's a good idea, we can approach that.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Adjournment's in order?
Motion. Second.
Motion second, all in favor? Opposed? So carried.